I'm not sure if I'm an idiot. Gonna provide some background. I'm in my 60s now. I was married to my ex-wife and we had a daughter. Our marriage was going through its ups and downs, but I was really close to our daughter. But as our marriage was going through its difficulties, I made a huge mistake I still regret to this day. I started having an affair with my coworker. She was in a violent, abusive relationship at home. We became friends at work and things just escalated from there. She got an out from me. She got the support she needed to file for divorce from her husband, who's currently in jail. The affair went nowhere and we called it off shortly after. But I was glad that she got out of her abusive relationship and that she was safe. But when my ex-wife found out about the affair, things expectedly didn't go well. She lashed out and said a lot of horrible things about me to our daughter, who was a teen at the time. I admitted complete fault with the affair, but even after the divorce, I sensed that the distance between my daughter and me was growing until one day, my daughter said she wasn't going to speak with me anymore, and she was going to cut me off from her life forever. That was the most painful thing anyone has ever said to me, and I begged her to please reconsider. I still remember that day. But time passed. My daughter kept her word, and after trying to connect with her for the first year, I gave up. I found out from one of my mutual friends that my ex-wife married a great guy. I was happy because I was hoping that would remove the hatred from my ex-wife, and that my ex-wife would advise our daughter to at least rekindle a relationship with me. But that never happened. I moved to a different state a year later. I'm at peace now, but I still have some aching sadness. I've retired. Both my parents have passed away, and my brother passed away tragically a couple of years ago. To be honest, I'm waiting for my turn. I have only my dog and my sister left. A couple of hours ago, my daughter called me on my phone. I last spoke to her 17 years ago. I instantly recognized her voice, but I didn't feel anything. No happiness, no sadness, just indifference. She was crying a lot on the call and we caught up on life. She's married and she has a daughter who's now a tween. She apologized for cutting off contact and she says her mom asked her to reconnect with me as her mom felt guilty about how everything played out. She said she wanted me to meet her daughter and her daughter constantly asked about granddaddy, but I wasn't feeling anything. After we caught up on everything in our life, I told her I didn't care about her or her daughter and to never contact me again. And then I hung up. Was I the idiot for telling her that I don't care about her or her daughter and to never contact me again? This is one of the most obvious you are the idiot stories I've seen here. Good Lord. You destroyed her childhood and her family by choice. Where there's forgiveness, there is love. Your daughter forgave you enough to call you and apologize and express sadness and devastation over the lost time. You responded callously and hung up on her. I have only my dog and my sister left. You had a chance to have your daughter. I think OP did them a favor in the long run. All these years later, he still has so many nice words for the woman he cheated with, but blamed his daughter for being devastated that he destroyed their family and gave up ever trying to speak to her again after a year and moved out of state. This guy's under the absolute delusion that he was a good father. She's probably better off without him, and so is her daughter. Not to mention that the daughter is completely valid in feeling betrayed in her own right. When men with families cheat, they aren't just harming the wife. He blew up his daughter's entire world and exploded her trust in him. It is true no one falls in love faster than two married coworkers. In this life, we owe nothing to anyone except our children. Pull your head out of your butt and fix it. But you wouldn't get it. He was saving his coworker. As a father of a daughter myself, dude, screw off. You're a darn idiot. And stop acting like the victim here. Your daughter's not a hurt teenager anymore. She has matured, reflected on things in her life, and reached out. It's too bad she was right about you in the first place. Enjoy wallowing in your lonely misery. For context, I, 28 female, attended a family dinner with my mom, dad, and sister. 26, yesterday. My sister's due to give birth soon and decided this dinner would be the perfect time to announce the name that she chose for her first child. My sister's always been obsessed with aesthetics. Her whole house is beige and rather depressing, if I'm honest. The nursery she built for the baby is also beige and gray, and she'll not accept colorful gifts for the baby. I can tell her husband hates it, but he won't admit it. Now, here's the issue. I'm very prone to laughing at inappropriate times. I'm autistic and find it harder to filter what I say and my emotions, which can lead me to reacting to things in ways that can offend people. I didn't think this would cause issues until she revealed her baby's name. So we're all done with our dinner. We're looking at my sister as she announces her baby will be named Brooke Lee Willow Rose, insert surname, spelt exactly like that. And then I burst out laughing and said, "You cannot be serious." I am now banned from all family dinners. Is the name really that bad? Was I really a massive idiot? Brooke Lee, Leeigh, Willow, sounds like a law firm specializing in garden landscaping. Poor kid's name will be a spelling nightmare. Like, there's no getting around the fact that making fun of someone's baby name is idiotic. But some things are just asking to be mocked. If she's into aesthetics, she should try picking names and colors that are actually good. You are the idiot, but that poor kid. Broccoli? She thinks it's a good idea to name her child Broccoli Willow? I'm sorry, but as a primary school teacher, Brookley sounds too close to broccoli, not to be made fun of. A sad beige house for a sad beige baby. I'll argue that Willow and Rose aren't really that bad, but wow, Brookley looks like whoever was writing it had a stroke mid-name. Everyone's the idiot here. The banning is weird. To disown you over this seems like a big reaction. I'm guessing you're exaggerating, or this isn't the first incident. You're more than old enough to notice that people don't like being laughed at, and more than old enough to know that this doesn't get your point across. Learn techniques to help you stop blurting things out. This should have been addressed when you were a kid, but it's not too late to take responsibility now that you're an adult. Mindfulness techniques, pause and breathe, mental checklist, etc. Update. After writing this post, I decided to call my sister and apologize, as when I wrote down what happened, I did realize what an idiot move that was. I said I was sorry for laughing and I apologized for using my mental disability as an excuse, and offered to treat her to lunch as an apology. Understandably, she was reluctant to forgive me, but she did, for which I'm thankful. She said she was hurt by my actions, which I understood, but was willing to look past it. I knew posting this story here would give me the slap in the face that I needed, which I appreciate. And if anyone is wondering, the name is staying. I didn't comment at all on it. I was taking pictures at a family wedding as a favor. I was being paid about half of what I normally charge, and I was fine with it. The bride is my favorite cousin, and her husband is amazing. During the formals, the wedding party was great, and I got a lot of great shots. When it came time to take pictures of different family groups with the couple, people were idiots. They wouldn't stop talking or looking away from the camera. I tried politely reminding everyone that the camera was the big black thing on the tripod and that it took still images, not video. I was repeatedly told to shut up and stop being a smarty and that they knew what a camera was. I asked my wife to record a video of the responses for me. My cousin was delighted with the pictures from the ceremony, the formals, and the reception. She laughed her butt off at the family pictures. In about half of them, people are looking off in all different directions instead of at the camera. In most, people also have their mouths open. She thought they were hilarious, and her husband agreed. I started getting crap on social media from the family about the terrible pictures. I replied that I had tried to explain to them that the camera was the big black thing on the tripod and that it only took still pictures. They said I should have waited for them to be ready. So I started posting the short video clips of people being total buttholes to me. My mom said that I went too far and that they wouldn't ask me to take pictures for them again. I did a fake cry and said, "Boo-hoo." She called me a smart aleck. Please let me state that I do not think I'm the idiot in this situation, but many people do. They're upset because they don't often dress up and get together, and they don't get good pictures. Not the idiot. The photos are an accurate reflection of their behavior on the day. The only people whose opinions matter about the photos are the bride and groom who hired you. If they like them, then no issue. They've embarrassed themselves and don't like that their online tantrum turned around on them. It's easier to be right until evidence comes forward. And it sounds like they didn't give you the respect that they would have given a photographer they didn't know. Absolutely. I used to do wedding photography, and this happened from time to time. I sometimes assumed that the disrespect was due to my being a woman, and sometimes that they were just oblivious or intoxicated. I would try to make comments the same way you did to various results. The bottom line is they have a responsibility to cooperate if they want good photos. It's stunning how many people don't get that. They are jerks for not cooperating and then blaming you. That's their problem. And you posting proof of their misbehavior is just more of that. You aren't the idiot for defending yourself, particularly when the couple doesn't mind either. I, 28 female, am 29 weeks pregnant with fraternal twins, a boy and a girl. I was lucky enough to get pregnant almost immediately after going off birth control. My sister-in-law, 38, who I'll call Jane, has fertility issues and has not been able to have a baby after more than a decade of trying and multiple rounds of IVF. A few days ago, my family came over to my house to hang out. I told them that I had finished decorating my nursery, and my mom, sister, and other sister-in-law all wanted to see it, so I took them in to see it. Jane looked unhappy when I mentioned the nursery and said she'd rather not see it. She went out to the porch while we went inside. We stayed in the nursery for a while, and eventually, Jane came in because it was too hot outside. We were talking about babies. My sister and other sister-in-law both have young children, and Jane looked a bit uncomfortable with the conversation. My sister-in-law said that I was lucky to get pregnant with twins right after I started trying. After that, Jane started crying and left the room. We all went to talk to her, but she said she felt awful having to constantly hear about our babies. She went on a long rant about how she feels excluded because she's the only one of us without a child now. She thinks our mom treats her like she's less than my sister and other sister-in-law because they have kids, and now that I'm pregnant, we don't talk about anything but kids. She said it's insensitive when we know that she's infertile. She was like this for all of my sister and sister-in-law's pregnancy. She insists on coming to all the gender reveals, baby showers, and birthday parties, but spends all her time there wallowing in her misery and even starts crying sometimes. I kind of want to uninvite her from my baby shower next week because I'm scared she'll ruin the vibe. Am I the idiot if I did that? I feel bad for her, but she can't keep bringing negativity to all our celebrations. I told my mom that I wanted to uninvite her, and she said that I shouldn't because she's family, and we need to support her instead of excluding her even more. Not the idiot, but why not say to Jane, you want to acknowledge how she might be feeling. You want to invite her, but you wonder whether she'd prefer some one-on-one time before the baby comes. Perhaps a spa day or the theater. Something to tell her she's important to you. When the baby comes, it'll be harder to give her that. You can let her know you wanted her to know she matters too before things have to change. Info. Is sister-in-law invited on outings that don't revolve around children and babies? Everyone came to hang out, and instead of having a movie day, a book club, a crafting session, or whatever, the entire conversation revolved around babies, pregnancy, how fast you got pregnant, and so on. Had it occurred to anyone to have some not baby-centric hangouts? You can have children at home and not make the entire time about the kids. This seems like a case of insensitivity and a lack of awareness. I don't actually think this does show insensitivity and a lack of awareness. This isn't OP's friend. This is OP's sister-in-law. Family gatherings with the in-laws generally include the kids because they're family gatherings. My husband's family has never invited me over for a kid-free movie day, book club, or crafting session. I do spend kid-free time, yes, but not with my in-laws. We aren't people who grew close due to common interest. They're the people who are related to my husband. While I do expect to be included in family time, I don't expect them to organize non-family hobby time with me. We don't even share any hobbies. I don't think the issue is I'm worried Jane doesn't really want to come, so letting Jane off the hook won't help. Jane wants to come. She insists on attending all these events and then makes herself the focus and brings everyone down. Someone needs to tell Jane, with kindness and love, hey, look, it sucks that you haven't been able to have kids, but it's also not our fault. It's not okay to make OP feel like she's an idiot simply for being pregnant. It has to be okay for her to celebrate. My parents named me, nearly adult female, Sawyer. My middle name is more obviously a girl's name, but I love my first name, and I don't love my middle name. Most of my paternal family hates my first name, though. They hate that I'm a girl with a boy's name. Some family members have tried convincing me to use my middle name instead. I always told them that I love being Sawyer, though. I'm willing to compromise and have people call me by both my first and middle name, but that's about it. Only this isn't good enough, and lately more family members have been calling me by just my middle name. I told them I didn't like it, and they said my first name didn't fit me at all, and I'm so girly and sweet that I should have a name that screams girl. I told them Sawyer fit me perfectly, and I always loved having my name be a little unexpected. It bothers me when people call me by my middle name because I don't like it at all. This did not make them stop, so I told them last Saturday that I wouldn't respond if they used my middle name. I was told I was behaving childishly, and my middle name is still part of my name, and they should be allowed to call me that. I told them that if they don't respect my wishes, then why should I respect theirs when this is my name? Am I the idiot? Excuse me, your family wants to call you by your middle name instead of your first name? You object and they think you're the one who's being childish? Nope, they've got it backward. Feel free to respond only to your first name. I suggest that you have your father lay down the law with his family on your behalf. You get to have a voice and speak for yourself, but the issue will probably be resolved to your satisfaction more efficiently if he intervenes for you. My advice is to give them ugly nicknames, or just give them entirely new names and say they fit their personalities better. Ideally, something old-fashioned, like Gertrude. Sorry, Gertrudes. Also, since when is Sawyer not a girl's name? It's been a girl's name, too, for at least the last 40 years, and as of this year, it's about evenly split between boys and girls. Moreover, even if she were the only one, she's a girl. Her name is Sawyer. Therefore, Sawyer is a girl's name. I'm reminded of a popular quote by comedian Susie Izzard. They're not women's clothes. They're my clothes. I bought them. I mean, in retrospect, they were women's clothes, but the point still stands. My sister refuses to respond when people use her first name, ever. Even when she was a toddler, she simply wouldn't. So guess what? We use her middle name as she requests. It's not hard. Your family has a lot of collective nerve. Stand your ground. Only you get to decide what you're called. Ignore the heck out of them until they get the message.